Okay, so that's the biggest TV that I've ever owned. That is a huge 75-inch TV that's a part of LG's 2021 NanoCell series of TVs. So they did provide this in exchange for me to make this video giving you my own impressions and thoughts about this TV, and that's what I'm about to do. So let's jump right into it. So yeah, the first thing is just the sheer size of this TV, but the good thing is that it does come in different sizes. So you can go as small as 43 inches, or you can go all the way up past this one and go up to 86 inches. So you have a good amount of range there to choose from. So below this video, I'll be putting a link to LG's website. I encourage you to go click that, and then you'll be able to see all the different sizes that they offer and also get up-to-date pricing on how much each one costs. And this is a 4K LED display that does support HDR, and it does have their NanoCell technology. And look, I'm not gonna get really super technical in this. This basically means that it has nanoparticles inside of it to be able to help clean up that image before it hits your eyes. And it also does have a quad processor inside of it, which is going to be in charge of doing things like reducing the noise in your video image, or adding motion smoothing if you wanted to, and also even upscaling your HD content to 4K content to get that extra bump in quality. But look, as a whole, how does the video image look coming out of this TV? Well, I am coming down from like the LG CX, which is a more expensive TV. It's an OLED TV, just way better quality across the board. But once I got that out of my head after the first day, I really enjoyed what I saw from this TV. Now, one thing I had to do out of the box was just turn up the brightness a little bit. And I did that for pretty much every picture mode that it offers on this TV, just because that's my personal preference. But that's really the most color calibration that I did on this thing, because it does have a decent amount of picture modes to choose from vivid to standard, and also one for filmmaker mode, which I highly recommend when you are watching movies, because they basically have that mode to allow you to see what the director or the filmmaker wanted you to see. So things like the colors and the frame rates and different things as far as like the aspect ratio are all preserved in this mode. So it's really no extra fluff. And I really did use this a lot when I was watching movies on this TV. But once I finally did get the image to how I wanted it to be, I quickly applied this to all of the HDMI inputs on my TV just by hitting a button that's in the settings. So that's really convenient. And speaking of HDMI, this TV does have 3 HDMI 2.0 ports. Now, I wish that was at least 4. I have a lot of devices I like to plug into my TV, so the more HDMI ports, the better. But anyway, as I just said, these are all HDMI 2.0 ports, so you're not getting that newness with the HDMI 2.1 that allow you to get the full output from systems like the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. But still, 4K 60 running on HDMI 2.0, I think still is going to be the standard. So I think that's going to be good for a lot of people. But if you want that HDMI 2.1, LG makes other TVs that do have that, but they are going to be more expensive. So you kind of have to weigh that into your purchase. But when I have been gaming on this LG NanoCell, I have been taking advantage of their game optimizer mode, which this will allow you to be able to have certain features that make your gaming experience better, like ALLM, which stands for auto low latency mode. So this means that when you are using a game controller and you're making movements and pressing buttons, the lag is going to be reduced a lot in this particular mode. So when I'm playing Apex Legends or Call of Duty and I'm owning people, of course, you know I can game, the inputs is definitely going to be very important in those type of games. And so this helps with that. And this also does have a black and a white stabilizer. And so this is good for like in the shadows when you are playing games. You can use that black stabilizer to turn up the darkness of those shadows if you wanted to. Or if you have a game that has a lot of bright highlights, you can use the white stabilizer to try to kind of maintain those to your personal taste. And this also does have different genres that you can choose from to kind of get a certain kind of preset of settings that might be the best for like an RPG or a first-person shooter. And so look, I'm not a dedicated TV reviewer, so I don't get like 20 TVs coming in here to really be able to compare other TVs around this price point. But just me, I just know when something looks good. And I mean, just look at that. You can't even see it because it's kind of blurry because the focus is on my beautiful face. But doesn't that look beautiful? I just know something that looks really good. And the image you get out of this TV looks really solid, especially for the price point. Again, you're mainly paying for the extra screen size with this one. But with this TV that can go as low as $500, I think the quality is really up there that will please a lot of people in this price range. But now let's take a step back from the picture quality for a second and just talk about the audio quality. So look, I don't typically use built-in speakers on TVs, and that's not going to change with this TV. But for the last 2 weeks, I have been using the built-in speakers, and they're actually not that bad. Now, it's probably because I haven't used built-in speakers for a long time, but they were actually pretty decent for most use cases. Now, I will say my favorite feature of the audio is actually called Clear Voice, and I've used this on a bunch of TVs where where the TV actually amplifies the voices of the people in the TV show or movie that you're watching. But on this one, it was extremely clear. And the benefit of this mode is that you don't have to have your volume all the way up to be able to hear them talk clearly and then have like a big loud explosion happen and just wake up your entire house. So yeah, I know it seems kind of odd to talk about clear voice, but yeah, it is one of the best performing ones that I've used on a TV. But now there is one feature that I think everyone can appreciate, and this is going to be how you can actually control the TV. And of course, the big part of this is going to be the remote control that comes with this TV. And this is the second time filming it because I dropped it on my foot before. But anyway, the remote control for this TV is new and it is awesome. So LG has some of the best remote controls because they give you enough buttons and things to allow you to access some of your favorite apps right away. But also too, this is a motion control, so you can actually move a cursor around on the screen to be able to interact with the menus and different settings as well. And then this does come with a scroll wheel built in, so you don't see this on every TV remote, but it makes so much sense because you have a lot of different menus that you're navigating up and down, whether it's in Netflix or just the main menu, and this scroll wheel just makes that so much easier. And also another thing that I really do like about this is that it does have voice control. And so if I wanted to know something like the weather for today, I can use either the dedicated Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant button on the bottom of this remote control, just like this. What's the weather like today?
Right now in St. Louis, it's 88 degrees and partly cloudy. Today, it'll be partly cloudy with a forecasted high of 89 and a
All right,
low.
that's enough. I gotta keep filming here. But the real heart and soul of this TV is going to be the LG ThinQ software that it has. And this is basically the home screen of home screens for TVs because it not only gives you access to a lot of different streaming apps that are already pre-installed on this TV, like Apple TV, Prime Video, Netflix, YouTube, Peacock, all of those apps that I typically use. But it also gives you a gateway to be able to control your other smart devices that you have connected to this TV. So you can either use the LG ThinQ app or you can use this TV to be able to add some of your smart lights, your smart thermostats and different things. So you can really just sit back on the couch all day and control everything in your home. But this LG NanoCell also does have something called Sports Alert, which will allow you to pick your favorite teams, and then now you can get alerts to when they are playing and score updates and things. Now, I do wish that it did have more sports like MMA and other different things to be able to add to this, but it has a lot of the main popular sports, at least here in the US, that people follow. And then this also does support Apple AirPlay too, so you have a better connection there with your Apple devices. And it also comes with a bunch of free live TV stations. You can get access to them right there on the TV out of the box, so you can take advantage of that if you want to. But just quite simply, this is the best TV software that I've personally used over the last few years because especially with that processor inside of it, it doesn't feel like it's lagging behind. It does feel like I'm using a dedicated or just like a separate streaming box on this TV, which you don't get that all the time. Some of the other TVs just feel really slow and buggy, but this one performs really well. But with that, I think that's about everything I wanted to tell you about this TV. And again, one of the biggest things that I like is that it's such a big image. And typically, yes, you can get a better quality TV for around this same price point, but you're not going to get as big of a screen. So I think this TV really strikes a balance in picture quality and also screen size, along with that really great software, great remote control, and really good like space to be able to put a sound bar underneath. I'm really big on that. I just really like having that space. And so if you want to see all the different sizes and the prices and maybe even pick up one for yourself, I'll leave a link down below to LG's website. So make sure you click on that, check that out, and get more information about this TV if you want it. But yeah, this wraps up my video on this LG NanoCell 75 series TV. I really thank you for watching this, and I'm about to go game. But yeah, I'll catch you later. Peace.